Have you ever prayed about a relationship only to be met with silence from God? You wait, you listen, but you hear nothing. It can be confusing, even frustrating. We often assume this silence is a test of our patience, but what if it's something else? What if God's silence isn't a test, but a response? A response to a heart that has already made up its mind. In the Bible, God's silence often comes when our hearts aren't fully surrendered to Him. Today, we're going to explore 5 reasons why God might be silent about your relationship. First, you might be asking for permission, not direction. This is a common mistake. We pick the person we want, we start to fall for them, and then we go to God and say, "Hey, can you please bless this?" We're not really asking for His guidance, we're asking for His stamp of approval on a decision we've already made. Proverbs 16:1 tells us, "To humans belong the plans of the heart, but from the Lord comes the proper answer of the tongue." This means we can make all the plans we want, but the final right answer comes from God. If your prayer is just a formality, a way to get a yes for what you already want, God isn't likely to speak. He doesn't respond to prayers that seek approval instead of true guidance. He wants to be the architect of your life, not just the inspector signing off on your blueprints. The second reason for silence is that disobedience blocks clarity. Think about it. Has God already given you instructions in other areas of your life that you've ignored? Maybe He told you to set better boundaries, to be more disciplined with your time, or to let go of a certain habit. If we haven't obeyed His previous instructions, why would He give us new ones? When our obedience is delayed, God's revelation is also delayed. In John 14:21, Jesus says, "Whoever has my commands and keeps them is the one who loves me, and I will reveal myself to them." Notice the order. Obedience comes first, then revelation. Clarity is a reward for faithfulness. If you want to hear from God about your future, you have to be obedient to what He's already told you today. Third, we often mistake excitement for peace. When you meet someone new and the sparks fly, it's easy to think this has to be from God. The butterflies, the constant texting, the thrill of it all, it can feel very spiritual. But excitement is not the same as confirmation. God leads His children through peace, not through the roller coaster of emotional highs and lows. Colossians 3:15 says, "Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts." The word "rule" there means to act as an umpire, making the final call. If a relationship is creating more anxiety, confusion, and pressure than a deep, steady peace, that's a major red flag. That feeling of unrest is the umpire calling foul. Don't let the intensity of your emotions drown out the quiet voice of God's peace. The fourth reason is that God will not compete with your desires. When your heart is already completely set on someone, it becomes very difficult to hear anything else. You've already given your heart away, and now you're asking God what He thinks. But the truth is, you might not be willing to accept no for an answer. In this case, God may remain silent, not because He has nothing to say, but because He knows your heart isn't truly open to His will. James 1 warns us about being double-minded. Verses 6 and 7 say that a person who doubts is like a wave tossed by the wind and should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. A divided heart can't receive clear direction. God won't force His will on you. He waits for you to be willing to let go of your own desires before He reveals His. Finally, remember this. Sometimes silence is mercy. It feels like abandonment, but it could be God's protection. He sees the future you can't. He knows the pain, the heartbreak, or the spiritual damage that a particular relationship could cause. His silence might be the very thing that prevents you from walking into a situation that would harm your faith and your destiny. There's a powerful verse in Amos 8:11 about a famine of hearing the words of the Lord. While this was a judgment in its context, the principle shows us that God can withdraw His word. Today, He might do so out of love to stop you from making a mistake you'll later regret. His silence isn't a sign that He's left you. It's a sign that He's restraining you with love. So if God is silent about your relationship, what should you do? Don't frantically chase answers. Instead, chase alignment. Surrender your desires, check your obedience, and seek His peace above all else. When your heart is truly aligned with His, clarity will follow. Now, I want to ask you something, and I hope you'll be honest in the comments. Have you ever ignored God's silence and dated someone anyway? What did it cost you? Sharing your story could help someone else avoid the same mistake. Thanks for watching. If this message helped you, please like and subscribe for more content to help you grow in your faith.